everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Pardon the Distraction. I'm one of your hosts, DJBLUEPDX, and with me, of course, in the red, it's TheLostDrake.
Hey.
So, yeah, we've got all sorts of, well, we have some stuff to talk about today. But the biggest thing we want to talk about is to throw out a thank you to everybody.
Yeah.
We've gotten up, we're 3,100 followers. Let's talk about what those stats mean, Drake.
Yeah. So basically, guys, we'll start off today just with, kind of going over some stuff, that numbers and things that have been kind of happening with Pardon the D. So you guys have been crushing it. You guys have been following us on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and you guys have been everywhere on that front. But you guys have been really coming in clutch on Spotify and Anchor and coming over there and supporting over there. But especially on YouTube, you guys have gone above and beyond. Like, every single one of our videos have been over 600 plus views. And we have just been crushing it on that. And it's because you guys keep coming back and watching and commenting, and your interaction is why we do this. So you guys have been coming back and hanging out with us, and we are just blowing through numbers. Like, I don't even understand. Like, literally, we were like, hey guys, we're like so close to 3,000. Now we're almost at 3,200. So we're keep pushing, and you guys keep dropping follows and sharing the podcast on your Twitters and all the Twitter feeds. But also, the crazy thing is we are like this close. We are this close
So
to
close.
getting. We're inching it. We're right there. So for anybody who doesn't know, there's the analytics of getting monetized and actually getting a check mark next to your podcast or your YouTube channel. So you have to have 4,000 watch hours. We are sitting at 3,500 on the dot.
3,500 watch hours already. That's incredible.
Yeah. So we're at 3,500 watch hours. And I think why we're not higher, honestly, is because I think people are just like watching or listening or watching the podcast on like Anchor, or they're on Apple or wherever, and everybody, and that's great. We love the diversity of that and being able to give it to everybody so they can listen to them and where they're at, but what I would love to ask of all of you, if you guys are tuned into this now, even if you're listening to us on Spotify or Anchor or anywhere else, just for the next couple weeks, guys, everybody come over to YouTube, open up the podcast, watch it in the background, just try to listen in when you guys can. Have the video up. We need those watch hours so we can get partnership. And if we get partnership, we get that nice shiny check mark next to our name. And we can also start making money. We have not made any money at all with the podcast. And that's not, of course, the point of it. But, also these things do cost a lot of money, keeping the website up, doing maintenance and merch and all that stuff too. So at the end of it, like, we really want to get to that mark so we can get the check mark, so we can start pushing forward, so we can start getting sponsorships, not only just for us, but also for you guys as well. So it's really nice for that. And we're going to have some big announcements here soon anyway with the podcast. We're kind of working on some stuff. And obviously that leads into our segment that we're going to start off with. We're going to talk about PAX, which is right around the corner.
Super close.
And you guys being here and supporting and hanging out with us, that is so crucial for us. So just please open up those tabs, open them up, and make sure you guys watch every single episode. Even if you haven't seen all of them, go back, watch them again, because that all counts for us and it helps us out a ton. And we just want to get to that next step, and we're so humbled that you guys keep coming back and listen to us rant and rage and talk about nerd stuff. So yes.
Yep. Absolutely agree.
So, yes. So, but yeah, PAX, it's right around the corner. I mean, it's already the 8th of August, which, Jesus Christ, where the fuck did this year go?
I know, right?
I literally, dude, the last 3 years have been such a blur. Like, they have been so just chaotic between the start of the pandemic and from 2020 till now. Like, it's just been just straight up chaotic. And we've gone through so many emotional roller coasters with, Mixer shutting down and rebuilding our platforms, and the TikTok boom, and everybody's on TikTok and everybody's switching platforms. Oh, I'm on Twitch. Oh, I'm on Facebook. Oh, I'm on YouTube. And nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Like,
everybody's everywhere. All
everybody is just trying to figure out their pace and where they need to be in the content creator world. And that's why we have always kind of been like, hey, we're everywhere, because you never know which one's going to hit. You never know. We're all trying to make a living doing what we love and our passion for video games. And you guys have those passions too. So you guys coming in or learning that updated information or what's coming out. So again, thank you guys for tuning in every single week, listening to our podcast, hanging out with us. And hopefully we get to meet a lot of you guys at PAX. PAX West is in Seattle this year.
Yep.
And
3 hours north of me.
Yes. I got to fly out and spend astronomical numbers to fly because, you know,
dude,
everything's inflated right now.
Dude, airfare's ridiculous right now.
Well, at least gas prices are starting to go down, which is good because we were almost at $6 a gallon here in Arizona. And we are now about ready to, we're at 409 right now. So we've dropped almost $2, which is good. We're almost back underneath that threshold. What was the gas prices up there? Were they pretty?
Who was getting up? It was like for diesel was like $7.
Oh my God.
But you know, and it's funny because when you look at because they have to report them. You look at the gross this year's posted net profits. For the oil companies,
it's probably ridiculous.
It is upwards of 20 billion. So anybody who's like, "Oh, it's the president's fault," or something, no. It's these motherfuckers at the oil companies who are doing this.
You know what it is? I can already tell you what it is, dude. And I know we're gonna go on a little bit of a tangent on this, but you know what else do you expect from us? It's because nobody was driving in 2020, so they're trying to make that money back, and they raised up and inflated all the prices, and a lot of companies are doing that everywhere. I've definitely noticed all the inflation, like milk, for example, right? You go to buy a gallon of milk. What was it, maybe $2?
I don't know. I don't drink milk.
$2. Well, I'm lactose intolerant too, but we still buy milk for our house, for like cooking and stuff. But that was like $2, for a gallon, right? And you're like, all right, sweet, whatever. Now it's upwards $3-4. Like, what the fuck? Like, what, these udders become gold all of a sudden? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, why is it so expensive? Because the cows are not going anywhere. They're still eating grass.
They're still producing shit.
Well, I mean, they are going places, but, they end up in a ribeye somewhere. But you get what I'm saying. Well, there goes all the PETA followers. But just in general, like, it's one of those things where it's, the inflation of everything, housing market, the economy right now has been so rough. And that's also why, like, us as content creators, like, we got hit hard. Like, after 2020 was the rise of content creators because everybody was home. So everybody was making content. Everybody was a podcaster. Everybody was making content. For us who have been doing it for years, way before the pandemic, we were making a living off of it. But then when everybody started doing it, it kind of depreciated the value in content creation because it wasn't like everybody could fucking go anywhere. Like, and TikTok is the prime example for that because you didn't see Mary Beth from backwoods Virginia fucking making TikToks, but all of a sudden she has 7 million followers because, nobody's ever heard her before. And she got a voice, which is great. Don't get me wrong. That's fantastic. But the problem is that most of these people aren't going to do it for the longevity like us. They're going to do it for quick money. They're going to change their lives. They're going to make money, and then they're going to dip, and they're going to be gone in 3 years. And all those people that were watching, those people are going to disappear into the void. And nobody's ever going to see them again. And that's the drastic reality of content creation. You are going to have loyal followers and you're going to have people that are going to be here. You guys keep coming back for us, we're jackasses. We don't understand why you do it, but we appreciate it, We
appreciate it and we love you.
but PAX is a prime example of that. It's a gaming convention where everybody gets together, both the communities, the devs, major companies, which this year, very super excited because last year was kind of womp because it was the first real convention back after the pandemic. They were the first one to kind of take the plunge in and go, hey, you know what? Like, all right, we're going to mask up. We're going to be safe. Everybody come out. You still have to be vaccinated. You still have to do this. Well, they're still holding down some of those rules, but those rules are starting to get lifted a little bit more. Now we just have to worry about becoming monkeys because of the monkeypox. But, whatever. We are, if anything, an evolving species of of diseases.
Always.
Always evolving. But yeah, no, we're all going. It's gonna be actually DJ, me, a couple of my mods. We're gonna have some friends going out there, people we have never met, which is also the reason why these things are so cool. So yeah. I mean, DJ, what do you got lined up for PAX so far? What are you gonna be up to?
So far, I'm hoping to be we've got a secret project with Intel that is we're working on that activation right now. There's also esports engine is going to be there. We've got some fun projects getting ready for the Halo World Championship. So I think there's going to be some stuff going on with that. We've got some game dev appointments. I know that Dragonite also I have some meetings with a couple different companies. And the best part is it's a chance to finally go back and meet and see people that we've known for years online. And in some cases, PAX is the only time we get to hang out.
Yep.
And it's always wonderful because you have the different crowds from the different parts of the country. You know, go to PAX East, you get everybody from the New England area. When we had PAX South, which we don't anymore, you get everybody who's from the Central and the South and South. And then you'd get your whole Pacific Northwest and West Coast crew at PAX West. So it's a great opportunity to socialize, to get some pictures, to make some memories, set up some inside jokes so that when you have them on stream, people are very people know what you're talking about. They're picking up what you're putting down.
Mm-hmm.
So
especially those behind the scene moments in PAX, because there's always those.
Oh yeah. And then
like, you remember that
forever.
guy? Remember that guy? You remember that girl? Remember that cosplayer?
So I'll tell you a couple things that though we're not going to be seeing in the near future, and there's a couple games that have been delayed.
Yeah.
I know, nice segue, huh?
Right.
So, and not just a little bit of delayed, we're talking a year out.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, it's right now we're up to 60 games that were announced to come out this year. 60 games, and they've all been pushed back to 2023 or beyond. And it's pretty crazy. The newest one that was actually added to that list was Midnight Sun. They just posted it up today that they're being pushed back to the spring of 2023. It was supposed to come out in October, and I believe it got pushed back already before that. So it just keeps kind of edging closer where we're getting to the Christmas season, and all these games that we were looking forward to are no longer here. Starfield was another one of those. It was supposed to come out during Christmas, and it's not happening now. It's supposed to be first quarter 2023. And it seems to be an ongoing trend in the industry. But to be honest with you, okay, this is my take on it. Take all the time you need. I would rather it come out right than us wait and everybody bitch about it that it's not done right, and that's all you see on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of games that have done that, and they are still suffering from it, and it's killed the community because they released too early. And I mean, without even saying names, DJ already knows one of them. But it's also one of those things too. but even so, like, we've got a lot of stuff that's happening here in August, which a lot of people should be excited. One of the games of topic too that I think is really exciting that is coming out is Saints Row. Saints Row is coming out.
Yeah.
And it is a complete remake. Not even a remake, because I think it's a brand new game. I think it's just a brand new game in the series of Saint Row.
And they need to have the dubstep gun. That's all I'm saying. It's the greatest weapon
the dubstep
ever.
Gun is so awesome.
It was the greatest weapon ever in Saints Row. Dude,
you know what's funny? It's like that whole dubstep scene in Deadpool 2. That's exactly what that reminded me of, dude.
Exactly.
You're like, do they have Deadpool? Do they still have dubstep in the future? Like that, dude, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
But no, even the trailers look really good, and I like the animation style and the way that they went. And Saints Row has always been, in my opinion, and a lot of people hate me for this, it's the better Grand Theft Auto. I've always liked Grand Theft Auto stories, but I've hated the multiplayer online. They've been dragging that shit out for way too long, and people keep giving them money, so that's why they keep doing it. And that's why we're waiting 19 years for the next Grand Theft Auto. Because why would they move on to the next thing when they don't have to? You know, they're making millions of dollars off of, like, basically... In a weird sense, it's like cryptocurrency of gaming. You know, they're literally wasting money for nothing that's going to be gone in like 3 years. You know, so it's like I get it. Like, people want the cosmetics and they like doing the role playing online, and they do that stuff, and I can understand the role playing stuff because it takes you in that immersive world and you can hang out with your friends and stuff. So I mean, I understand that. I'm not going to shame anybody for that. But Saints Row, super excited for it. It is really amazing. And That's towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
But there is something else and something that I'm partnered with that I'm really excited about. So Naraka Blade
Yay.
Point,
Yes.
it came to Xbox just recently. It's been on PC for quite some time. There's a new map coming, guys, and from what I have seen, which some of it I can say and some of it I can't, I will just say you guys have been seeing a giant phoenix type deity flying through the sky of Chinese culture. Sunwing has been showing up, and it's literally the entire sky. It's a giant phoenix, and it lands and it like illuminates the sky with giant fire, comes down. And they had Moonfang before, which was a giant serpent that was in the sky. So it's really cool for any of you guys like BRs. You know, it's a nice shift and change. So it's really nice. It's a melee combat action game. It doesn't have like it's fast-paced melee combat. It's really different.
Yeah.
It's so dramatically different. Have you actually ever played it, DJ? Naraka?
I've seen it. I have seen. No, yeah, I did play Naraka.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's very interesting, and I'm actually a partner with them, and I'm one of the North American partners because they have us split up, you know, by west side of the world and east side of the world. But yeah, it's just really cool. There's so much new stuff coming out, and they kind of drop Showdown, which is the new PvE section of it, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
And it's very neat. It's very unique. You can level up your characters and do some really cool stuff, and you can play with a couple friends, and you go after a big boy boss, and it's really neat. And I know they're going to evolve that and add more as they go. And you know, we're all waiting for new characters, and we're waiting for some really cool stuff to drop. So that's actually happening this week. So we're going to have some stuff this week, and next week, I believe there's going to be more drops. So everybody's super excited about that. And I'm going to be doing a secret project, and you guys will be hearing about it very soon, which I'm very excited about. It's actually happening tonight as we're recording this. So I'll drop this episode, and then right after that, I'm going in to go do some stuff with them. So super excited for that. What other games are you excited for, DJ, coming out? I mean, obviously God of War is coming out, Ragnarok.
Yeah. God of War. I'm super excited for the new storyline pieces that are going to be coming for Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
As well as for the updates for Halo Infinite, so that we finally get Forge, because I'm really looking to get back into
When is that coming out?
Griffball. That. You know what? It's anybody's guess at this point.
Wait,
I'm just being honest. It's
I know, but
anybody's
do we
guess
even
at this
have a
point.
set date for like the 4-player campaign and like all that stuff? Everything's still in the air, right? It's all still in the insider program.
It will happen eventually.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Well,
all,
you know what?
and I
Here's the
know
thing.
that sounds like a dick thing to say, but it's the
But
truth.
it's the
It
fucking
will
truth.
happen
Yeah.
eventually.
You know what? Here's the thing. Like DJ being the biggest Halo fan ever, he hates. And you know what? This is the thing that sucks. Even me as a Destiny player, we know when our devs and our companies have messed up. And as a passionate gamer and the love for the game, we critique the game based on, man, this is jacked up, but we still have faith in the game.
Yeah.
We're not bashing it because, oh, we fucking hate this game. Delete the devs. Get rid of everybody. I burned down
Right.
the whole
That's
community.
it's
Dude,
so ridiculous.
People are so
get
stupid
so
online.
hardcore.
If
I'm like,
you are
for
one of
God's
those
sake,
people
chill
going
out
out there and going in Reddit and going on fucking Twitter to try to have your voice heard and just start to stir people up because you think it's funny, cut that shit out, man. These people have living, like they have lives. They have fucking children and families that they're trying to provide for. Like what's happening at Bungie right now is absolutely insanity, and I know it's happening in Halo too. The toxic people are coming out of the woodwork right now, and I
feel really bad for those devs at Bungie. They do not deserve
like
the nightmares that
Liana,
they're getting.
Liana, one of the community managers who I've known, and I've done charity events with her at San Diego Comic-Con and stuff. She's like the sweetest, nicest person, and she also served in the military as well. So she's also a no shit type taking person too.
Yeah,
but you
pretty
know,
much.
when you work with a company, you gotta hone it back. You can't fucking go full berate on people, especially when you're a community manager. So a lot of the time, you just gotta take those bullets and just go, you know, and just fucking. I won't ever do that noise or that face again on the podcast. That was weird looking. But
Wow.
But yeah, dude, it was weird looking. But just in general, like, you know, for all the people at Bungie and 343, you know, everybody always gets mad at me. Why do you defend those companies? They've been fucking us over. And I'm like, look, you know what?
First of all,
Here's what I
have so
told
many
them.
things to say to those people.
Well, so this is what I say to every single one of them to say that. All right, so they had one fuck up, maybe two, maybe three, right? They may have messed something up. They're fucking human. And guess what? Every game before that, were you bitching about those games before? No, because you love them. You're a passionate gamer, but direct it the right way. Don't be sending in death threats to fucking Bungie headquarters or 343. Those people literally have families and they're normal people just like you. But the only difference between them and you is you're fucking 46 and live in your mom's basement and fucking piss in a bucket and eat Hot Pockets and have nothing else better to do with your life. So,
and I want to point this out because this is I think an important piece of the conversational element that happens here.
Yeah.
Would you tell a chef how to make braised rabbit? No. If you don't know how to make it, then shut the fuck up. If you're not in game development, then shut the fuck up. If you're a game dev and you are having an opinion about things, well, guess what? In that respect, you are entitled to have an opinion, but also in that respect, it's delivered as an opinion and not as some short-sighted threat of a ridiculousness. Your absurd need and a sense of entitlement that these developers owe you something is completely detached from reality. The fact is, it's their game, it's their IP. And you know what? Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. I mean, for God's sake, I just got traffic tickets that I didn't know about from like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And they just were like, oh yeah, we forgot about these. Here you go.
Yeah.
You know, that, and and I'm not going to lie, I definitely earned those tickets. But had I known about them over the years, I'd have paid that shit off.
Right.
But
everybody
it's that same
mistakes.
thing. Like everybody fucks up. Everybody fucks up. These game developers are in the midst of, and I'm not using it as a crutch, but they are in the midst of coming back from a 2-year dev cycle off of the pandemic and COVID. Like, that's wild. And
Still
to have
dealing
everybody
with it.
sitting there and talking shit because it's not what they wanted. Blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Then go play another fucking game. I'm playing another game.
Well,
I know I've said this before on the show. I've gone to other games because I'm not having fun with it. When Forge comes in, I will go back to having fun with Infinite because I'm gonna have Griffball again.
Yeah. But you know, that's the crazy thing too. Like, even the comment. So I've had that exact same thing. I've actually used that reference about the chef, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to tell a chef how to do it, but then you have the people follow up with this, not to play devil advocate. And I kind of understand in some sense, but also it's just an asinine way to go about this. But this is literally, I've said that same exact thing. You're not going to go into a chef's kitchen and tell them how to make fucking some extravagant meal.
Yeah.
And they go, and this is something that I've actually had somebody say that on this counter, well, I'm paying them to do it. And I go, no, you are not. You are paying for the product after. You're paying for the ingredients. That's all you're paying for. You're not paying for the service, the knowledge, the degree, the shit that they have earned, their culinary expertise. You're not paying for any of that. You're paying for the aftermarket product that they produce. And you would not have that product if you did not know them. So fuck off, stop making dumbass excuses and stop trying to attack people. Because here's the thing, right? Like DJ pointed out, if you have a football team, the quarterback gets COVID, they kick his ass off the fucking field because they're not going to jeopardize everyone in the entire field, right?
Yeah.
But when you lose the quarterback, you lose a lot of the practice. You lose a lot of the scrimmages, the shit that you need to know about the game, and you lose sync with the rest of the team. And then when they come back, they have to learn all the shit that they missed. It's the same with the game company. They're not, if somebody gets sick with COVID, right, which everybody at this point has known somebody who's got COVID, it's not a myth, it's not some magical vaccine that was injected by the government. It's fucking literally a real thing. It's just like the flu or anything else, right? It's one of those things where if somebody, like, say the lead developer gets COVID and he comes into work and infects the entire team because he didn't know he had it, right? He goes to the store and some jackass who decides to not cover his face coughs on him. Fucking he comes home, gives it to his family, gives it to everybody in the dev.
Your whole dev cycle.
The whole dev cycle is off by 4 weeks. because you 2 weeks of quarantine, and then let's just say somebody comes back and they didn't have it, but then somebody's desk had COVID on it, they touch it, they get it, it starts over again, vicious cycle. So they're down 2 months of dev time, right? 2 months in dev time means you're not getting that game for another 6 months.
Yep. Because and that's the big, and so speaking from just
We've been in that
with
department.
one studio, it's you if you're gone for 2 weeks and everybody else is like, all right, well, then I'm going to start making these assets that are going to be in this once they're all plugged in. And he comes back, the other person comes back after their quarantine, and
it's catch up.
And has to catch up on all this and then realize these don't work in this format because we didn't realize we were going to have this hiccup because you guys were developing while I was at home.
Yep.
And bloop. Then they have to redo their, it's a mad cycle. So I'm saying is that, yeah, the people at Bungie and 343 both they're working their asses off.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the community doesn't have any right to be threatening them with physical violence. It's absurd. It's absolutely.
Why are they attacking community managers too?
Yeah,
that's the part that they don't make the games. They're just there to relay the information to you. Yeah, and you guys are attacking them like they're the ones that fucking went in and made the coding. Like, you guys got to understand, it's just like the military or a job or anything else, right? If the CEO says, "Hey, you go relay this to the rest of the employees," it's like the messenger, kill the messenger, right? It didn't come from the messenger. It came from the CEO. Be mad at the CEO. Don't be mad at the fucking community manager. And I don't want anybody to be mad, but you guys got to understand, it's a chain of command. No matter what business, no matter what branch, no matter what military branch you're in, everything has chain of command. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, military people are just more aware of it because we grew up in it. You know? So yeah. Go ahead, DJ. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, I know. I just wanted to divert us back on topic a little bit.
We'll go back to it, but yes.
Speaking of, I was going to say, speaking of physical threats and such, I finished watching The Boys.
Oh, God.
So, and I want to be very clear, people, what we're about to talk about is going to include spoilers. If you have not seen The Boys, which is currently out right now on Amazon Prime, you've got to see it. It's great. It's an incredible cast that is disturbingly unique in the way that they are putting the story together. So that's what I'm going to say. If you haven't seen it, I just mute this whole next section or watch a different one so we get the watch hours. But here's what we're going to be talking about The Boys now. So for those of you who do know,
it's on its third season.
Recap a little bit. It's on its third season. The first season was exquisite. It had one of the greatest opening scenes I'd ever seen in a show.
We've talked about it numerous times. Yeah, it's
she's just obliterated. The special effects are bar none top tier. These are top tier Michael Bay level wild. And the fact that there's so much blood and guts in this,
blood, guts, and nudity, and just craziness. It's just
I got to give kudos to the actor who plays Homelander. Is incredible. He does a great job of being unhinged and fucked up. Frenchie, the actor who plays Frenchie, he's such a great actor. He can communicate so much with just a look or a sigh, and there's not a bad actor amongst them. Yeah, they're all really incredible.
You got Jack Quaid, who is Dennis Quaid's kid.
Yeah, Jack Quaid
he's literally the main character. Yeah. But then you got Anthony Starr, or is it Anthony or Anthony?
And I believe it's Anthony.
Anthony Starr, who was also in a show I just watched, Banshee. Oh my God, I didn't even know that show.
I get on that one, but I had to do
Oh my God,
first.
So good. And then you got like Carl Urban, who has been in Marvel movies and so many other
Star Trek.
I think he might have been in Star Wars. I don't even know. That guy's been in everything. But there's just so many awesome people in this. Like, I'm looking at and not only that, but if you guys watch Karate Kid, one of the main characters is the girlfriend of the original Karate Kid. And she's in it.
Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue's amazing. I've always been a fan of hers forever. We've got Jesse T. Usher, who's in there, Laz Alonso. That's A-Train and Mother's Milk, which is a great name, by the way.
I love Mother's Milk. Yeah,
I feel bad a little bit for Nathan Mitchell because he plays Black Noir.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't get a lot of screen time. I think
he's on there a lot, but he does. Don't ever see his face.
You see his face in 2 episodes, I think, and it's when they're flashbacks before he got brain damage.
Yep,
really bad brain damage.
Yeah. And a huge shout out to Erin Moriarty. She plays Annie January, which is Starlight.
Yep.
And having never seen her in anything before, I know she's been in stuff before, but I never noticed her. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And
Dominique too, Queen Maeve. Oh my god, dude, she's fucking awesome. And then Karen
astounding.
Too. Karen who plays Kimiko. Oh my god, for somebody who doesn't speak.
Right,
one of the best actresses, like hands down. And she actually, I actually found this out recently. I think she's been in Broadway in musicals. She actually like sings and everything. That's why there was that musical performance in this season, which was crazy because like you actually get to hear her talk and sing and shit. And you're like, what the fuck? And then this last season was so fucking intense.
Oh, and there's one other person I want to point out that was really great. I've seen her in a couple of things. She was the bitchy downstairs neighbor of Jessica Jones in Marvel. She's been in a couple different things, but her name is Colby Minifie. And Colby Minifie plays Ashley Barrett, the ridiculously absurd and
she's like the PR, HR, I don't even know what the fuck
she is the ultimate definition of high-strung personality and PR talk. And she does such a great job in this role because she gets to go nuts. In that sense of she goes off the rails.
She pulls her own hair out.
Yeah, and she's yanking her own hair. It's just so
good.
Sketch. It's so sketch. Layla Robbins is Grace Mallory.
Simon Pegg is in
great
it.
Actress.
Simon Pegg is literally
is Jack's father.
Yeah. So like there's so many awesome people.
Yeah.
In this show, and the cast is just so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then they added Jason Ackles from Supernatural. All of you guys
Ackles?
know him as Dean, but they added him as Soldier Boy. And
he gets to play a psychopath.
Dude, he played that role so perfectly. And the way that they ended the season, just fucking mind-melting, dude, because you're just like, okay, so let's back up a little bit.
I want to back up to the beginning of the season real quick
go
because
ahead.
this is the part that I was So beginning of the season, let's talk about this. They've got this new role. It's the beginning of season 3, and they're out there trying to hunt down the asshole soups that aren't doing their job or fucking things up.
Yep.
So in comes this mini man. I don't even know. He didn't have a name. First of all, he is stark naked almost every time you see him. And
he did have a name. I forget what his name was though. He was a superhero.
He shrinks down and jumps up completely full on cock and balls visible. He goes in the back room with his boyfriend, crawls inside, like literally he's naked and this guy just lays his junk on the table and he crawls inside the guy's dick. But during the whole thing, they've been doing cocaine. So he does a line of coke, shrinks down, crawls inside the end of this guy's dick. He's starting to get off, and then this motherfucker sneezes and accidentally jumps back to full size, splits this other guy in two.
Blows him up.
It was the most disgustingly awful and also creatively genius murders ever.
Because you know what's even funnier about that?
Oh my god!
You know what that was a reference to, right? So that's actually a reference to Marvel, because there was this whole thing on why Ant-Man didn't just shrink down, go inside Thanos, and go big.
That's an
and it was a whole conversation.
That's an excellent point.
And they actually spoof it on the Disney Cruise Line right now. He actually talks about these. Like, first off, I want to address this. This is Paul Rudd. Literally, first off, I want to address this. You know, and a lot of you guys have been asking me why I didn't just shrink down and, you know, and that's literally how he describes it. And then they have Lily, whatever her name is. I can't remember. Lily Evangeline, is that her name? The one that plays Wasp?
Oh yeah, Lily Evangeline.
Yeah. So she's next to him, and she's like, well, let's move on. Like, she tries to like push it out because it's on a Disney Cruise Line with kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just funny though, because that's what that reference is to.
Disney Cruise,
because Paul, see, like, well, all of them too, because like the whole series, everything with the boys, all the love for comic books, that's Seth Rogen. Like, that is Seth Rogen, because this is all created from Seth Rogen's mind.
And
which is
Seth Rogen's also got
in the
a
show
cameo in there. Haley Joel Osment, the kid from is in there. He's I'm so glad he's so great. Patton Oswalt.
Yeah. Patton Oswalt has been in fucking everything, dude. He's even in Sandman. He's even in the new.
Really?
He's in Sandman. Yeah, he's the Crow. He's the Crow. I think is his name Mitchell or Daniel or Matthew. His name is Matthew. Matthew the Crow. That's it. It's fucking. He's in everything though, dude.
I'm excited to see the Sandman. That's our next show to start.
Oh my god.
This show came out in 2019, in July of 2019. So right before the pandemic really took off. It came out that summer. And so it's been filming. They've got a 4th season on the way. I don't know if they've got season 5 approved yet or how far they're going to continue going.
I'm sure it will be. This show is on fire right now.
Yeah, it is on fire and everybody is watching it. Tomer Capone, that's who plays Frenchie.
Yeah.
And just an incredible actor. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. You can find it and more by simply using your Prime membership. And don't forget, if you have Prime, you also get a free sub on Twitch to anybody you want. You get to use it every single month.
And you can support any of us.
Yes, you can support either of us.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, right?
So there's that. So definitely watch it.
But wait, I want to talk about something specific. All right.
Okay.
So,
the violence in it is awesome.
Well, not just the turning point for me in this season was the Hero-gasm episode.
Oh God, yeah.
The Hero-gasm episode had one of the best superhero fight sequences I have ever fucking seen. Because for anybody who's been watching episode 1 and 2, and then episode 3, basically Billy Butcher, he gets basically an agent that makes him a suit for 24 hours.
24 hours.
And for anybody who doesn't know what soup is, basically that's what they call like supers or like superheroes. They're called soups. It's like the slang, I guess you could say. But if you guys have not watched this, again, I will emphasize this, and I've told everybody, like I just got Poe into this, and he watched the first 2 seasons. He started watching it, and then season 3, he's like, what in the fuck is happening? But just literally so many people I've got into this, and people have actually asked me to do a watch party on Twitch with this too, which would be really cool to like watch it front to back with like everybody every week. But but also too, so the Hero-gasm episode, so it starts off with literally like Soldier Boy started these things back in like the early 1900s, and because he's hundreds of years old, but he basically started these parties where all the heroes get together along with normal humans, and they basically it's basically like a kink party. Like it's no holds bar. There is no boundaries. It's soup sleeping with humans, and like humans getting off on sleeping with fucking supers with like giant extending dicks. Yes, that is a thing.
Dude, that was so fucked up. I looked at that thing as soon as it came through, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And it came around, I was like, is that a dick?
Dude, immediately I thought, you know what it reminded me of though? It reminded me of like those vines that come off like poison ivy, and it was like moving around and was looking. I was waiting for the dick hole to open up and start talking. But I mean, it's that crazy though. That's what this fucking show is all about. But anyway,
imagine it turning around and going, don't be a dick.
Yeah, right. And then like, so they go into this thing, and it's all about the Hero-gasm because they're trying to basically lead Soldier Boy to go kill Homelander, which is like the big baddie. Nobody can, he's like the most indestructible, most badass soup but he's fucking unhinged. He's fucking crazy. So they basically lead Soldier Boy in there, and then like it just so happens that they cross paths with like 2 other people of their team, and then they didn't know they were there, and there's octopus fucking.
Oh my god, the Deep and that fucking octopus is so disturbing. Oh my god, and I get that it's CGI, but holy fuck, there's a reason why they have the disclaimers, and there's a couple hilarious disclaimers. I took a picture of one.
What did it say? What did it say? Now I want to know. Because God, I know the disclaimers were fucked up. Like, it's like no animals were harmed in this scene, probably. But literally the Deep leaves his girlfriend for an octopus. And
his wife.
Oh, yeah, his wife. Oh, yeah, his wife. I forgot.
All right, here it is.
Yeah.
So this is what is
Karen, and that's even funnier. The octopus's name was Karen, wasn't it?
Karen, yeah. So at the beginning of season 3's episode 6, this pops up and it says some scenes may not be suitable for some, comma, really most, all right, let's be honest, all viewers, but rest assured that any consensual relationships depicted, be they human, animal, superhero, or other, aren't real, harmed no one, and in fact cost a hilariously large amount in visual effects. I mean, they were honest. They were fucking honest, and I respect that. It's the greatest. I read that and went back. I was like, "What?"
Oh my
Kevin
God.
goes, "What did that say?"
Yeah.
And I rewound it, paused it, took a picture. I was like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen."
Dude, it's honestly the amount of work and love that they put into the show, including the actors. It's just so funny because they're having fun on this. And it's even funny because I've even seen like Star when he's talking about it, like when he does Homelander, when he does this laser beam, he's like, it looks so stupid when you're on set because it's just me going,
yep.
And that's it. But then they add the special effects and then it looks cool. But I look like an asshole when I'm doing it. And
Right.
I mean, I would. I mean, you're just, even Starlight, like Annie, when she's like running around and she's doing like her beams and stuff, everybody's like, she has the stupidest power. And I'm like, you know what? Honestly, if you think about it though, like that scene after Herogasm, which I'll get to the fight scene, but the scene after with A-Train where he goes after the racist soup and he just grabs him because he hurt his brother and drags him across the asphalt for like fucking 3 miles and then has a heart attack. Yep. And then they put the heart of the racist guy in him.
It's fucking,
dude, it was such a twist. I was like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? And then A-Train just starts becoming unhinged at that point. He's but it's the thing with Maeve where he's like, I don't give a fuck if you're alive. He goes, we're just using you for your eggs. Like, dude, especially at the time when that episode came out, because all the Rose stuff came out. So it was like a double, like,
yeah.
But dude, the weird thing about that show is it actually hits as fictional and fucking crazy as it is.
It's very relevant.
Really relevant points in time and history, and also what's happening right now in our world, and also about corporations and inflation and economy. Like
there's a lot of parallels,
dude. It's like so close. They don't talk about it, but they drop it to be like, hey, we know that it's happening. You guys should pay attention to this too.
Yep.
Because it's definitely like one of those subliminal things where you're watching and you're like, dude, that is like what's happening right now in the world. Like, that's fucking crazy. And even though you're watching a guy fucking octopus, you're like, what the fuck is happening? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Drake? A guy fucking an octopus.
Wait till you see it, people.
Just watch it if you haven't watched it. But the fight scene in that specific episode, and the final episode.
The choreography was incredible.
The choreography and Soldier Boy, who is also indestructible, which you also find out in that episode. A huge spoiler. I won't even drop that because that'll give away the whole fucking season.
Yeah, we aren't gonna give away that.
But basically, Soldier Boy comes in and dude, just his stance and demeanor, like, bitch, you don't got nothing on me. Dude, you could just feel the ominous, like, I'm a dickhead, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna kill you type mentality. And when him and Homelander start fighting and they're just spinning around, slamming each other in the fucking wall and just beating the shit out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see Homelander bleed for the first time, you're like, oh, fuck. And then Billy Butcher just comes in and fucking laser beams him. And then they had that, dude, it was like a Superman moment, dude, when the beams hit and they were like, they were going back and forth. It almost reminded me of Dragon Ball Z too, because like when they're doing like Kamehameha blasts at each other and it was going back and forth. And then it just explodes. And then all three of them hit the walls. It was just, dude, one of the best fucking episodes of all time. Like it was just so good. Oh, yes. So go watch it.
And I want to put out one last person in here, and that is this guy plays excuse me, sorry. He plays the CEO of VOD, right? Or the head of the board.
Oh yeah.
And his name is Giancarlo Esposito. Giancarlo
also in Far Cry.
He's in Far Cry. He is been in Star Wars,
Breaking Bad.
And everybody pretty much knows him from Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's got over 187, was it 187? 189 film and cinema credits, and that's just that, not including his music, not including his stage performances. The guy's incredibly talented.
He is a
but
villain.
He does such a unique job of expressing pure evil when necessary,
Out being evil,
doing it while smiling.
Yeah.
His job when he played Gus Fring, and he was also Gus Fring on Better Call Saul and on Breaking Bad.
By the way, speaking of, have you ever watched Better Call Saul?
I have not gotten around to doing that. No.
I was just curious if you've ever watched it, because everybody's telling me that, like, and I guess something just happened on this new season that literally makes something make sense that everybody's been asking for in Breaking Bad forever, and it just happened like 2 weeks ago. And they were like,
wow.
what the fuck? Like, it was like one of those moments, like it was leading up and it tied up the entire story of Breaking Bad and the Saul show. And so now I kind of want to watch it, because if it has, I mean, I know it's tied into Breaking Bad, but it's like, whatever. Sorry.
No, yeah. And I didn't watch Breaking Bad for years just because I knew there was going to be, because it was dealing with methamphetamines. And given my past, the last thing I wanted to, I was like, I
watch something about, drugs.
I'm not good with this. And a friend of mine, who we attained our sobriety together, said, you know what, actually, if anything, it validates and reinforces,
shows why not to do drugs.
why we aren't down that path.
Yeah.
So I ended up watching it. It is one of the, it is absolutely incredible how uniquely they tell this story, and in such a way where you are emotionally connected to these characters and you see what's happening, but there's an element of tragedy and that's curbed with hilarity.
Yeah.
You know, in the process of loss and
it's literally a cancer patient who is at his wit's end, and he doesn't know what else to fucking do, and he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna make a living for my family, so when I die they're taken care of. And then he goes from that to getting so wrapped up in making drugs and being the best at what he's doing, and then just becomes this fucking villain. Like, he really does. He becomes a fucking psychopathic villain. And then you know, all the people along the way who get hurt or destroyed, or just the murders, and like the very first scene too, when he's coming out and he's got the apron and he's butt naked, I fucking started dying laughing, dude. I'm like, what in the fuck is happening? But you know what? Like, even like my wife,
tweaker level Olympics going on in that show.
Nay straight up has not watched it. She's like, I started watching, I got bored with it. I'm like, you don't understand, you need to watch it. I'm like, how did you get fucking bored? And
you
she's
need
like,
3 episodes in.
Well, I told her, I go, it's just like Game of Thrones. It took 7 episodes, and then you're just fucking locked in, and then it's go. But even so, like, shows like that, like, it has these lead ups, and they had the, you know, the spinoff, you know, with Jesse and like what happened after Breaking Bad. Did you ever watch that? The spinoff on Netflix? There was a spinoff just with Jesse after Breaking Bad. Like, what happened to him after. It's really good.
He got sober.
Yeah. Well, he got so it's
for
fucked up. Just watch it.
Oh,
just
God,
watch
okay.
it. Just watch it. And he ends up going to Alaska, and it's like a whole fucking thing. Anyway, it was actually pretty good. And then they had Better Call Saul. Now he's on Jesse. The actor that plays Jesse is now on Westworld. So that's cool. He moved on, which is good. He's not just saying bitch every 5 seconds. And he was also one of the lead characters in a Final Fantasy game. I don't know if you knew that. So, but yeah, so there's a lot of tie-ins with these, you know. Yeah. But even him as a villain, like, he ran the chicken shop. Yep. And you know,
Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah.
Pollos Hermanos. That was the name.
Yeah. I actually have one of those shirts, by the way.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
But they just actually, speaking of Breaking Bad too, they actually just depicted them, and it just had their first convention ever for Breaking Bad, and it was in New Mexico, and they just put up their giant statues of both of the characters, and they went out there and did a whole thing for it. Yeah, it just happened like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we are coming up upon our time, so any final thoughts for the day?
Shit, man. I don't know. You know, shit and things. You know, honestly, it's just one of those things where, like, this is the second week. I think we're gonna. I know me and DJ have been trying to find some new people to bring onto the podcast and bring back some reoccurrings, and we've just been kind of going back and forth on what we want to do. But we're working hard behind the scenes, guys. We're doing some really cool stuff. And again, I just want to emphasize this. You know, if you guys can watch all these episodes on YouTube, help us get those last 500 view hours, so we can get that check mark, you guys. And then we're gonna have subs, like official paid subs on the account, which are gonna give you guys exclusive stuff, discounts on merch, all kinds of neat stuff. And we'll have our own emotes, which will be kind of cool. We'll get to do that, which is kind of neat. And we'll just keep growing, and we'll keep getting those plaques like all the other cool YouTubers and platformers, and doing all that stuff. We're super excited. This year has been amazing so far. I mean, we're in August. We started this in February, and you know, we're coming up to episode 34, which is crazy. We've had so many amazing, awesome people on this show, from Tink to Stormbreaker to Kappa Robots to Kick-Ass Jamis. We've had some really awesome people on here. We had Braided Bandit, and we plan on bringing even more people on. Which, by the way, Braided Bandit said she'll come back on too, so that's another one too, we can bring her back on. But yeah, if you guys are ever interested about anything, or you guys want us to talk about a specific topic, or maybe we know something that you don't, or if you need some insight on the gaming industry, because we have a lot of connections in this industry. We've been doing it for a while, and a lot of people always ask me, well, what's coming out? What's going on? Like, can you talk about this? If there's something you guys want to talk about, please comment below. Let us know what you want to talk about. And also, again, just make sure you guys have the tab open, watch all the episodes, maybe even go back and watch them again, you know, and reminisce on old times and when we started to where we're at now, and how much the podcast has evolved, because it means a lot to us. So, and I guess with that being said, we'll wrap up this episode. My name is TheLostDrake, and I'm on all platforms, Twitch, everything else. I stream Tuesday to Friday. I took Saturday off the list so I could spend time with my family, but Tuesday through Friday from 5 p.m. until whenever the fuck I stop, which most likely is like 10 hours in because I'm a maniac. And obviously make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe here on the podcast. And DJ, take it away. Where are you at?
You can find me on Twitch.tv, everywhere, DJBLUEPDX. I stream Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, everything from music to video games, and then on Tuesdays at 11 a.m., I'm actually hosting a show with the CLX Gaming team. It's CLX Gaming TV on Twitch. You can catch that show every week at 11, and that is an opportunity for us to take custom builds from customers, and we kind of assemble it from the ground up. We teach everybody about electronics and about computer parts, and it's really cool. So check that out. Otherwise,
don't forget, you have one other thing too. Yeah, I was gonna say, make sure you bring up your TikTok.
I'm gonna start. I've started doing things on TikTok. I got over 1,000 followers, and so I'm gonna start DJing on TikTok. If you want to check it out, any support is helpful right now. I'm working towards collecting some things for TwitchCon and for PAX. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna go DJ on there from my phone, and
all the donations that he earns from that on TikTok and on building that up is all going to go to helping him go to TwitchCon, PAX, everything else in between. Because you guys know we live off of your generosity. So, you know, like if anything that you guys do, we greatly appreciate all
the support.
But it is never required. But, you know, we make this content because we love it. But, you know, we also still got to pay bills too. So, you know, it is what it is. But we're very transparent about it. And honestly, at the end of the day, we, again, appreciate all of your guys' love. So everybody here from Pardon the D, all the guests, everybody that's ever been on here, we love you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll check you next week, and enjoy this episode today. Have a wonderful night, guys.
Peace. We out.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay.